Hello, you are watching a video created by the North Reading High School Guidance Department. It is meant to serve as a tutorial for students and their families. This video will cover the topic of requesting an outside recommender, or what is sometimes referred to as an other recommender. And let me share a few words on what exactly that means. An outside or other recommender is a recommender that is not a member of the North Reading High School faculty. So this could be someone who is a athletics coach here at North Reading High School, but who is not on the actual faculty. It could be also an employer, a coach from a team that's not affiliated with North Reading High School, someone for whom you've done community service, clergy, etc. So those people are not able to send letters on students' behalf through Naviance because only faculty members have access to Naviance to send letters on behalf of students. However, there are many times when a student can still have a letter of an other recommender sent electronically by using their Common Application account. So as you might guess, this only works for schools for which you're using the Common Application to apply. There are some cases perhaps where the student is having a current faculty member submit a letter, or several current faculty members, but they can't get another what we call teacher letter through the system, and so they could possibly use this method that we're going to demonstrate to have a North Reading teacher or administrator, etc., send um, a letter, but those cases are going to be few and far between. Students should use Naviance for current faculty members whenever possible. Obviously, the student can always talk to their guidance counselor to help figure this out. I also want to say that guidance counselors are always have access to Naviance and are always going to be able to get their letters to Common Application schools electronically, um, at least in the vast majority of cases. So this does not affect guidance counselors either. So let's run through the process. Before starting, a student obviously has to set up a Common Application account. They have to complete what's called the FERPA release authorization. I'm not going to go through that process in this video because students can watch the video on setting up a Common Application account and completing that FERPA authorization. So to keep this video a little shorter, I won't go through that now. Just see that other video if you need further details on completing that FERPA release authorization. So once a student's in their Common Application account, they would go to the My Colleges area, and you may be familiar with this. Any college that the student has added into the My College area would be listed here on the left. This example has a student with two colleges in the My Colleges area, so Boston College and UMass Lowell. So next, the student would go to what's called the Recommenders in FERPA section, and they would look at this area that says Invite Recommenders. The good news is that if they went to the area called Counselor or the area called Teacher, there is information here saying your school is a Naviance school, basically, and they'll be sending your documents through Naviance, so don't invite counselors or teachers through this system. However, if we have one of those other recommenders, we're going to first go to the Invite Recommender section. We're going to click on Invite and Manage Recommenders. So this is where you're kind of creating what I guess I'll call a database, so to say, of people that may be submitting recommendations on your behalf that are not faculty members of North Reading High School. So you would list whether the person's either an other recommender, parent, or advisor. In the vast majority of cases, we'd be listing other recommender. Advisor might be more if you're working with someone through like a community organization that's going to be submitting a letter on your behalf. There's places where people get help with college applications through a YMCA or a Boys and Girls Club. Um, I know of one college maybe that requires a parent recommendation. So, um, there may be cases there, but the vast majority of schools do not ask for that. So, in most cases, we're going to do other recommender. We would then list what our relationship with that other recommender is. Again, it could be coach, clergy, college access counselor, employer, family member, peer, other. So others obviously a catch-all category we may have to use in some cases. We would put it if they have a title, and then we would list the person's first name, last name, and their email address. I'm not going to actually go through the process. I've done a sort of a faux one already with my own name. Again, no one would really be asking me to write a letter through this system because I'm a guidance counselor and would be submitting through Naviance, but just so you get the example, first name, last name, email address, and then add recommender. And then that person appears in the list here. I do like that they put a note right here that says, please note that this individual will only receive an invitation email once you assign him or her to a college. So even by adding them in this list, that person is still not going to be notified that they can create an account and send a letter for you. I will show you that now, the process for doing that. So I'm going to exit out of here, and I'm going to come back into the My Colleges area, and I'm going to stay in what's called the Recommenders and FERPA section, and I'm going to scroll down in this area, and here's the section that says Other Recommender. This will tell us whether the college allows an other recommender through the system, meaning a letter by that person through the system. And so it's telling us that in this case, Boston College does not require one of these letters, but it is optional and it will allow one total letter through the system. So I could only invite one person. And what the process that I'm completing now is assigning that recommender to send his or her letter. So again, when you invite them, you're basically creating like a list or a database, and then you would have to go through each college and assign the person to send a letter. So you can see if you happen to have two outside recommenders, which not many people, if any, are going to have, but if you did, you would want to come through and assign them because schools do limit the number that can come through. So in the case of BC, maybe you had a clergy member write you a letter and you really want that one to get through to BC. You would assign them here. So you would click on the link, add another, and then I would use the drop down box to select which person I want to send their letter. Now, I only have one person in the list, so the default is this person, and then I would click assign, and that's when I would essentially the system would send that person an email, allow them to set up what I'll call an other recommender account if they don't have one, and to upload their letter and send it. And they would, at this time, because I've only assigned them to Boston College, they would only be able to send it to Boston College. If I wanted them to send to UMass Lowell, let's take a look to see if they allow them. Oops, I clicked on them. Now I need to always click on that Recommenders and FERPA section. Again, they're already in this database, so even if I peek in here, there they are. So I don't have to do that part of the process again, but I would have to go down and assign. Okay, and so They don't require one, but it is optional, and I can send one total. Before I started this video, I did assign ones because I wanted you to be able to see what that looks like. So this person, this coach, has been assigned, and so they've received an email and can now send the letter to UMass Lowell. And because I had, I didn't actually do it, but because I had pretended to assign them to BC, they'd be able to send that one too. So if you come in this area and you don't see other recommender, or it tells you that it doesn't, even allow any through the system, then you're not going to be able to use the system to have that person send a letter. There's always the option of using, um, what I'll call old-fashioned mail, or you could contact the school and see if there's another means, such as like an email address that they accept letters through. But that's how you can use the Common App for other or outside recommenders. If, again, you don't want to be using this except in very few circumstances for current faculty members of North Reading High School. Again, your guidance counselor can always help if you have questions on this process. Hope this video was helpful for you, and thank you.